I think that people are like really saying to do that because of his, like, I guess his position. They're saying that he's a president, like he's inciting hate, he's inciting racism.
Since when? He's inciting it since when? Because
They've been throughout his whole presidency.
right, so the fact that they're banning him now when he's already no longer the president elect. We already have another president and now he's being banned. What sense does that make? Like, seriously. It really makes no sense. I think it's all performative. It's all, and I think something else is up because it doesn't make sense to ban Trump now. What, he's saving face?
Wow. I was gonna really argue like the other side because I do understand it's like, all right, well, he's saying certain things, he's making people feel certain ways, he's like, I'll even go as radical as saying he planned the protest or whatever he did, whatever. Allegedly.
I mean, that's a big leap.
Allegedly.
Okay.
But
it doesn't make sense.
It's just not real. Like, to say that he should be banned from Twitter or any social media site for that matter, or any social site, or for not just him but for anybody.
So the thing is it to like your voice? Is the voice? It's supposedly a public forum, or is it a private forum? And in a private forum, in a private place, do you have the right to just say you cannot use this? Like,
I think the platforms definitely know, like the owners or whoever is in charge of banning things or like adhering to those
who's
types
in
of order,
charge?
like adhering to that type of order where you ban this account or whatever. Who's ever in charge of that, for sure, like that's their job. But morally,
and they get to ban the president, the former president, like
morally
who in that
and ethically,
position?
Morally and ethically, I think people are looking at it like, well, on one end you have certain people saying like, well, at the end of
are the KKK banned? Are the Proud Boys banned? Like, are hate group? I mean,
I'm not sure. I've never seen anything, and I think that's probably an argument that they make too, is that his platform is definitely bigger than those and more widespread than those, and that he has that influence to make an even bigger statement with whistleblowing
beyond being president of the United States and having a what is it?
No,
a public address.
Not beyond, with being the president.
With being the president.
Of
now
the
you shut
States.
him down when he's not in the position of power.
I think they used. I think it was the mixture of
saving face.
No, what happened at Capitol Hill was like a trick. Like, it was just like very triggering for people, and it was like, all right, well,
okay, so it's the Capitol. It's that protest.
Yeah, that's like the straw that broke the camel back.
Oh.
Like, that's what it looks like, because it wasn't a ban before.
That didn't look like too much straw there either. I saw fur. I saw horns. I saw glass.
Whatever.
I saw a lot of stuff that looked very theatrical.
Whatever.
I'm just saying.
But I think that's...
banning, I mean, we're really pushing the envelope very far. I think we're going very, very far with giving private businesses that have such a large voice and reach the power to ostracize and blacklist people. And I think we've gone too far in doing that. I think.
But the argument is that at the end of the day, there is still an owner of Twitter, and there is still an owner of Facebook, and an owner of Instagram. So if they say that this is not something that they want to see on their platform, at the end of the day, we don't read what that user agreement really says. But if they say that they don't want this on a platform, at the end of the day, it gotta go. And that's what I think this is a prime example of what that illustration is. And definitely in your case, and the things that you go through with the bank and all the things that...
Oh, wow. Just throw it out there. Just throw those hoes out there, because I just said Twitter banned me. I didn't say why.
But to be honest with you, it's the things that happen when you speak out against injustices. You speak out against things that happen to you. Yeah. These platforms do have the right, and they are showing that they will implement those rights to say that, okay, I don't want to see this on my platform, even though it is a platform that should be, or that we believe,
really
or not the should be, but that the people believe,
right?
The users believe, the general public believes that, okay, we have a voice on this app. If I'm creating an image on this app, if I'm creating a voice on this app, this is my voice, this is my thing. But at the end of the day, if you have not read the user agreement, you don't know, and I haven't read it, but you don't know. But it seems like that's what is in play, is that this is still a person, because we can't mistake that social media is not really people. And this is another thing that we're seeing, is that social media has actual people behind it.
And they have their own agenda.
When the actual owner of the platform that you're using to express your brands and your thoughts and your ideas on says that this is a no-go, then this is what is happening to Donald Trump. This is what kind of
but there was that the bakery, where they just like to bake cakes, just like the platform. They had their platform where they bake cakes, and there was they had a gay marriage going on, and they wanted a gay cake, and the people didn't want to make a gay cake from the bakery, and a lot of people, there was a lot of uproar that you have to do what people want. Be available to the public. It's discrimination to just say what you won't do.
No.
Like, if you're open, so if the platform is open, it's to everyone, then you have to do it for everyone. So if you'll bake a cake for a kid's party, you got to bake a cake for a gay wedding.
No.
And you can, if you're going to allow someone to talk on Twitter about balloons, then you have to allow Trump to talk about what he talks about.
Like, if that's the point of that, because the business, no Trump, no anybody doesn't, you can go from Trump to Farrakhan to if Martin Luther King was alive today, to say the things that he wants to say, Malcolm X to say. Anybody can say what they want to say.
Right.
Anyone can do what they want to do. Any business can express their morals and values in the way that they want to express their morals and values. You also have the right to get online and say how you feel about how they express themselves.
But Trump is not able to get out and say how he feels.
Oh, he's done enough of that. He's done enough of expressing.
But how else will we hear from him? I mean, how else will we know if
Twitter is not the only platform.
This is how we got his agendas. This is how he communicated with the American public, was through Twitter. So now it's like you're shutting him up. You're taking away his platform.
That's not the only platform he can use. Now it'll be something else, and people who follow him will find him somewhere else. And if
don't you think that's a little dangerous to shut down? We won't know what they're talking about.
Who?
Trump and his supporters, because they won't be on Twitter and Google.
We don't know what they're talking about anyway. Until they show up and start climbing walls and running through offices and buildings and scaring
They told you they were coming. Oh, they told you they were coming.
But we know what they was talking about, and now we surprised. I'm not sure. All moved.
But I think Twitter, as an organization, I think they made a big move just to appear anti-Trump now that Trump lost. And I think just as well as Trump would have won again, Twitter would have said that they had to continue to have his offensive tweets there because he is the president and it is pertinent to the nation. And however, I do believe we still have to pay his salary. I mean, he's still on the payroll. His family still receives protection. They still receive, all of the other benefits that every other president receives after they leave office.
I think it was more telling of Twitter than it was of anything that Trump was doing, because
definitely
Trump has been
Trump
saying
is Trump.
and doing
Trump is Trump.
the same thing this entire time. But it's I will go along with the point that you was making, that this is very telling of Twitter, that whoa, even though you have, I guess, the right to shut things down
you
like
exercise
that,
it now.
Hold up. You doing it with Trump? Yes, that's cute. But
what you're doing with
what are you
others.
doing with
Yes,
other
with
people? Like, what are
others,
you
yes.
doing with other
What
movements?
are you truly
And I
doing
don't
with
want to
other
even
movements?
spark the
Yeah.
political side of it, but
Yes.
like for real, what are you doing?
And this is important.
And what is the influence?
And if no one
that
no
you're
one
having?
challenges you with doing it
What's
to
the
the
influence that
president,
you're having?
they will definitely not challenge you when you do it to any others that are in the United States of America. And I think that sets Twitter in a very horrible position when it comes to media, when it comes to the control of speech and the responsibility that you have when you are in a position of exposure to this degree. Because if you can shut up Trump, how many other movements have you shut up in lieu of allowing Trump to continue for those past 4 years?
Right.
Like, what did you shut down for the
Right.
past 4 years?
Right.
Before you shut
Because
down
whole
Trump.
time, Mark Zuckerberg, that'd be a good platform for him to get on now that Twitter shut him down.
Well-
Like, he can still go over there because Mark Zuckerberg says it's the freedom. Man, you can say whatever you
Well,
want
no,
to say.
Zuckerberg shutting him down too.
son-
Well, he
his
didn't
son-
shut down Trump. He didn't shut
Right,
down,
I was
but he
about to
did
say,
shut down
'cause he's-
Farrakhan. He did shut down
It
Farrakhan.
always
We're not on
comes
Farrakhan.
down to this.
All right, we won't talk about Farrakhan.
No, Farrakhan.
Okay, well, I mean, because I thought it was very tough that, you shut down Farrakhan. I thought that was very, like, yeah, ooh. But,
That's another. Like,
I just don't
I
agree
know
with it.
why
I don't agree with
I don't know
whether
why
it's
I didn't
Trump
say
or whether it's
Farrakhan, 'cause I was
Farrakhan. I
definitely
don't agree
thinking
with it.
Farrakhan in that analogy too is like Farrakhan is another one, like
Yeah.
where it's constantly shut. The message is shut out, and even his
Yes.
followers or whatever people who
And his
follow
supporters,
those types
yes.
of things and
ones
believe
that they know
in
support
those
him.
those ideas and practices.
Yes.
It's like, yo, at the end of the day,
If you don't act like
if you don't
a
subscribe
canon,
to it, you don't subscribe to it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But
you shouldn't be shutting
at the end
it
of
down.
the day, like it's one, like and that's why.
Unless it's illegal. I mean, I really think that if anything, they should shut down
but
illegal things. But it's
at
not
this-
illegal.
but it's-
Freedom of speech is not illegal.
And that's my problem with the social media platforms doing that.
Yeah.
And that's my problem with Twitter doing that is because at the end of the day, it's like, well, y'all really do have like stuff, and there is a whole graphic section and graphic clauses and things in there where you will, there's what is it? Disclaimers before you even see
Right.
the content or whatever. You could have done that.
They
to
could have put the
Trump's tweets
yes,
or
they-
something
the
like
way
that.
they put the COVID
but to
disclaimers.
completely ban an account and to ban a voice.
I think
is
it's
a
a horrible
statement.
precedent. I think it's a
very
horrible
big
precedent,
statement. It's
and
a
I
very
think
big
it stands
statement.
for things that have happened before they banned Trump. I
Because
think
it's
that's
not,
very big.
and I just want to make it clear, it's not just Trump that I want to make that voice or that statement about. It's like literally because it is a statement now and it's big now and it's trending now, but. Really, how many voices? Like
How many voices have been
Farrakhan
shut
is
out?
definitely
Yeah,
going
definitely
through that.
been shut out.
And it's like no matter how whatever because it's not. And Farrakhan, don't use. It's not like they're using profanity even
at
with
all.
Trump or Farrakhan.
Or hate speech. Hate
It's
speech.
not. They're not saying go out and protest. They're
they're
not
not.
actually saying do anything wrong.
not.
They're not saying to
they're
do
not. No,
anything
they're not.
wrong.
No, they're not.
Whereas there are actual accounts and people
Yes.
doing and saying some crazy
Yeah,
things.
definitely telling you to do wrong, showing
What
you.
you think incites someone and how you are feeling on the inside is one thing, but to completely take that power and that voice for anybody
Yeah, that's
is like, whoa, that like if that's in the user agreement, then that's actually the topic that we need to be
Yes.
discussing,
Yes.
not Trump being banned or
Yes.
this person being the clause in those user agreements. We actually probably need to go back to that because that's not right. That
it's not
and how
acceptable.
much because you can call it algorithms or whatever you want to call it, but that's actually not right. That you have the ability
to discriminate
to
indiscriminately.
dis-
To discriminate indiscriminately. To discriminate
discriminate.
indiscriminately. That's what's very
Indiscriminately.
important. That's what's most important. You
or,
don't
or
discriminate.
your probable
indiscriminately.
cause. Like what? Who are you? The police? The
I mean,
judge,
the judge and the jury.
Supreme
Yeah,
Court?
it's unacceptable.
Like who
It
are
is
you? Like you're a
unacceptable.
social media platform. This is a social setting.
It's seriously like
Things
walking
will
up.
not be conducive to everybody's feelings at all times.
No,
it's
it
a
won't.
social platform.
Yeah, it should be open.
But your ability to block, your ability to unsubscribe
To
to certain
ostracize.
words, but we do have
To
power.
blacklist.
You don't have to follow
No, you
anybody
don't.
that you don't want to follow. You actually don't have to see anything you don't want to see.
You don't.
You can literally.
I mean, my timeline. I mean, once you realize,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's about maybe 4 or 5 years. You realize that it is literally up to you what you see on your timeline, specifically what you are going to see, not what you won't see, you know. So you can choose what friends you have, and those friends are the ones that will post certain things. Now, if you see a bunch of crap on your timeline, most likely you got a bunch of crappy people on your timeline. Bunch of crappy people.
Or you're crappy.
Or you, well, definitely. I mean, that's the whole point. Or you could just like crap. I mean, you could just be a person who likes crappy things, you know. But it definitely is based on what you like and what you know, and the algorithm specifically. You can screw all of that. You know, it is someone else's platform, someone else's business. However, I do believe in the position of power of Farrakhan and of Donald Trump. I think it is very important that you don't allow these type of symbolic moves to be made so publicly. And I think it's important that those are attacked directly so that the overall consensus remains that there is still freedom of speech. And even if you don't like something, especially if it's a president, especially if it's a leader, you take care of that with your actions. And that's where civic responsibility comes in. That is the point of voting. That is the point of being involved so that the Electoral College does things that, can be certified in in the way that you want. If you don't agree with how the voting is taking place, then you protest just as they protest. But you have to stand on something. And I don't think you make it, you relegate this situation by just saying, okay, we just won't allow people that, you ban Trump and you ban Trump supporters, but that doesn't stop. Trump is not running for office again. Trump's not in the position. There will be another. They wouldn't be called Trump or Trump supporters. And then how do you ban those? How do you, indiscriminately choose that you're going to ban those that are like Trump or who have Trump-like feelings? Right. And then we're getting into a Trumpian empire and a Trumpian mindset where, first we're anti-Trump and we're not going to do this for Trump. But just as sure as you realize, Trump is not going through the inauguration in a few days. So this is a policy that's not going to continue on Trump. This is a policy that will definitely be enforced on those that we don't need to see blocked. I'll tell you that.
Yo, it's Know It and Dash. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for our latest videos and updates.